Tell me how you get emotions. How you popping in is killing me. Over here, come follow me. Tell me how you get emotions. How you dropping in is killing me. I don't need you in the video.
Alright y'all, so good morning and welcome to the day in the life of an orthodontics resident on call. Now I know what y'all are wondering. On call, why do orthodontic residents have to take call? As a residency program or as a school entity, I can't remember exactly why we have to do it, but we have to have an after hours number available for anyone that has needs that need to be met immediately. So every week, me and my co-residents alternate being on call or possessing the call phone, which means there's 14 of us. You are on call once every 14 weeks. Now, as a first year, you also have to rotate the holiday weeks. As a second year, you are absolved from that duty. So for us first years, it is a little more often than once every 14 weeks that we're on call, but it's not super often. And as I'm sure you can imagine, there's not often that there is an emergency that actually requires you to come in to the school. So this week it is on me. I'm on call. Call phone is in my possession. I got it yesterday. We usually do the handoff on Mondays. Today's Tuesday. I've only gotten one call so far this week. It was actually yesterday, probably 50 minutes after I got the phone. Someone called the emergency line to make a payment. That's just an idea of why we have a call phone and how people usually don't actually have emergencies when they call us. So now it's 7:35 and I'm heading to school. As you all know, if you've watched my channel before, I only live about 10 minutes from the school and traffic has died down a lot, so the drive in the morning isn't bad at all. This morning is Tuesday, so we have biomechanics from 8 o'clock to 9:30 a.m. and then we have clinic from 9:30 to 5. If you're interested in knowing what my typical weekly schedule looks like, I have a week in the life vlog that I'll put up here. I still can't remember which corner it's in, but you can go watch that at the end of this video so you can see what a typical week in the life of a first year resident is like at my program. I'm in a 2-year orthodontics program, so things are very fast paced. There's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding and it's very joyful. And it's still a master's program, so I still have to do a research thesis. I guess that brings me to my next point. I haven't introduced myself yet, so if you're new to the channel, my name is Dr. Eli. I'm a first year orthodontics resident, and I just graduated dental school in May of 2025. On this channel, I've vlogged my entire dental school journey, and now I've moved on to vlogging my orthodontics journey and really more just lifestyle content, showing you all what it's like to be a black orthodontist. So if that's something you're interested in watching, please make sure you subscribe. Now, let's get on with the rest of the vlog. Day in the life of an orthodontics resident. Let's go.
More money, more problems. More guns, more violence. I beat a couple cases. I feel like John got it. How about a Benz, baby? I feel like God life. I feel like taking a drink right now and pouring it over my niggas. We ain't never turned down. I'm a big dipper. Big tipper. You want it, you bad, you get it. Cash on the lip. Rose on my lip.
It should be on the bookshelf that's about here on the other side of the wall. Really, it's an excellent resource. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those yellow books, like Windows for Dummies.
So, it is currently 11 a.m. I just got another start. Shout out to my co-resident, Olivia. She pretty much got the patient's mom. Our patients are siblings. She got the patient's mom to pay the down payment so that I could get a start today. I'm going to be starting off with a Hyrax expander for that patient. I'll talk a little bit more about what that is later. I hope the construction isn't getting in the way too much. Yeah, so finished with my first patient, did a treatment plan presentation, and then placed separators for their expander. Why did I just emphasize expander like that? Anyway, patients at 11 is 10:51. I'm going to be helping my big out by placing bands on their lower sixes because their lower brackets keep popping off. Next, 1 p.m. after lunch, my patient's coming in because one of her brackets popped off. I might need to think about putting bands if it's the same bracket again because it was a lower 6 And you can't have patients constantly coming in for broken brackets. It's a habit that you have to get out of now, because in private practice, that costs you chair time, that costs you money, and that costs you resources, especially if they're losing the bracket. Brackets cost money. You can't just keep placing the same bracket over and over on the same patient. Money is material, is resources, is time, whatever. Now, at 2:30, no, that's at 1 o'clock. I have another patient at 3. Or I have one more patient before I go home, and I forget what time it's at. And I also forget what it's for. And my clinic notebook is in clinic, so can't think about it right now. So I just stopped in here, got my call phone, checked it, no missed calls. Usually no one calls during the day because our regular phone number is on, but sometimes people do because they can't get a hold of the front desk with the regular phone number. Not what it's for, but people use it for things it's not for all the time. So I do check it periodically throughout the day. Anyway, today's going good so far. Clinic is nice and busy, trying to get things done. Also trying to make sure I keep up with vlogging so I can make sure that I have content to give you all. That's how the day's going so far. Biomechanics was nice this morning. I feel energized today. I feel good. I slept pretty good last night, so maybe that's why. Let me drink some water while I'm in the resident room. About to head back to the clinic. Just in case they haven't seen, this is what our resident room looks like. I did include it in some other videos, but everyone gets a little cubicle. Only one person has a computer so far, but we're supposed to be getting some soon. First 4K vlog. Hope y'all enjoying it so far. Make sure you like the video if you haven't yet, especially if you watched this far through. And yeah, I'm going back to clinic.
That's a good one. Pay these bitches they clout, bitch, love clout. These keep running they mouth, clubhouse. That might catch a strap, I'm tryna hold out. Treat this shit like a drought, send me full amount. I see millions and billions, these rest for my well-being. I take my pretty girl skin, cause she called.
Okay, so it is 5 o'clock, 5:04 p.m. I just got in the car, and my day, my work day, is over, but I'm about to go to the gym. Today in the afternoon was really not super eventful. 1 p.m. my patient came, I had to put a bracket back on. Not the most fun thing to do, but it happens. And yeah, honestly, that was the second bracket that came off. It was not the same one as the first one that came off on her, but I may have to start thinking into other options for those molar brackets, especially since they're all the way in the back. Sometimes isolation just isn't that easy to achieve, and that may be affecting my bonding. And then I did a screening at 2:30. That was pretty interesting because it's probably going to be a interdisciplinary case. You know, braces isn't always, or orthodontic treatment in general, isn't always about aesthetics. Sometimes people need their teeth moved for function, for restorative work. The patient that I had at 2:30 was interested in having a tooth that super erupted, which means it came down too far because she had no opposing tooth to catch it. They were interested in having that tooth intruded so that they could create space to put an implant at the bottom. These are the things that happen when you have teeth pulled and you wait and wait and wait and you don't get anything put in place of it. And then now you are worried about other things. It sucks, but you know, your body is always trying to be in equilibrium. There's nothing catching that tooth, it'll keep dropping down. And it's very applicable because literally right now in our dental facial analysis course that we take on Mondays, as well as our craniofacial growth and development course that we take on Monday, we've been learning about eruption and how eruption is continuous throughout life, starting with the pre-eruptive stage and the post-eruptive stage, which honestly I'm not going to bore you all with the details, but we've been learning about how essentially your teeth keep erupting throughout your entire life, and in your adulthood it's just very slow, but it continues and it gets quicker if there's nothing stopping it. It's been really nice to kind of just explain things to patients in the best way possible, just to make things very understandable for them, especially because a lot of people don't exactly know what's going on in their mouth and don't have a good understanding of what goes on at the dentist. One thing I really enjoy doing is taking the knowledge that I've learned in dental school and in residency and relaying it to patients in a way that they can understand, so that they truly understand their treatment, why we're doing things, why they need things, etc., instead of just telling them, hey, you need this and this is how much it's going to cost. So I kind of described earlier in the video what I was doing this morning. This morning I had a treatment planning appointment at 9:30 a.m. and I was explaining to my patient that they need an expander. Essentially, the patient has a constricted upper jaw, and while she's still in her growing phase of life, we want to expand her upper jaw, so we're using an expander to kind of get a little more space in the upper. She also has crowding, so that's going to help us alleviate some of the crowding and make more space, so that when we put the braces on, it'll be nice and rounded out, and she won't have a very tight bite on her sides or cross bite. And yeah, her mom ended up paying for her treatment right then and there, so we got started. I placed separators, which are rubber bands that kind of create space in between your back teeth, so that we can put a band there. We're going to need to put a band there for the expander. After that, at what time was it? Actually, that's the only patient I saw this morning. But I also ordered one of my patients' Invisalign trays. I have a patient that is coming for retreatment. They lost their retainer, and there's some things about their teeth that they don't necessarily like. I checked on their chart this morning. It looks like they made the down payment for treatment, which means I could go ahead and order their aligners, which I did. And yeah, so we kind of got two more treatments started today. The goal for my program is to get 50 cases started in your first year, which is, you know, I wouldn't say it's very ambitious, because it seems like most of the second years got that done in their first year last year, or got at least 40, which is really good, because, you know, we are trying to see cases and get experience for when we're going to be in private practice, or some of my co-residents have to go back to the military, and things like that. So the more cases you start, the more cases you can see, treatment plan, etc., and kind of get that experience. And then next year we'll be finishing a lot of the cases that our bigs, which are the second years, started. So you're getting that experience not only of starting a lot of cases, but finishing a lot of cases as well. And yeah, it's very, very nuanced how they structure a 2-year program, because a lot of people are only in treatment for 2 years. So you have to be very strategic about how you're going to get your residents all of that experience, while also ensuring that they get everything they need to get done in only 2 years. So that's the end of my yap session. Been talking for a really long time. I'm about to head to the gym. Sorry, 5'11", I just talked for so long, but I'm about to mix up my pre-workout and drive over to the gym, 2-minute drive, and get a leg day in. I'm very excited for leg day. Leg day is underrated, man, because that's where you lift the most weight, push a lot of iron, and I'm excited for a leg day today. I really need some heavy weight to push. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, let's get this gym session in.
My name got made within. Go. I'ma walk in like a tall man, show 'em all my growth. Got light tech, got brown skin, got garage, you know. G5, 6 back off, we born the flight. Nigga May on one been playing with rag games all of his life. I'm having my way from working that day and grinding through night. I'm to baking, but keep my space out of the right. Gonna work the day as a travel day, mighty tonight. Gonna work the day I cannot say it's a hell of a price. Pay these bitches in clout, bitches love clout. These keep running their mouth, love house. Step my kid to a strap, tryna hold out. Treat this shit like a drop, can we pull 'em out? I see millions and millions, each best for my well-being. I take my bitty go skiing, cause she called. I'm moving on European, I'm picking up cash in hand. My name got baby within, shit is gold.
All right, so it is now 7:19 No, it's not 7 yet. It's now 6:40, and this is the end of my work day, gym, and all that. This is the end of my responsibilities for the day. So that's what a typical day in the life of a resident, orthodontics resident, on call looks like for me in my program, 2-year orthodontic program. 6:15 I woke up today. 6:20 a.m. wake up, class at 8, clinic at 9:30 to 5, gym at 5. I try to be as productive as I can during the day, especially when I don't have patients. Like in between patients, I try to get work done so that I don't take too much work home. So when I get home, I am probably only going to be reading my textbook, the Bill Profit textbook. That's a very, very prominent textbook in orthodontics, and is basically teaching you all the essentials of orthodontics that we need to know for our first year. So I might do a little bit of reading, but I'm really trying to get home and just relax, enjoy the little bit of the day that I have to myself, eat some good dinner, probably edit this video a little bit, and just chill and try not to do too much schoolwork, because you have to have some kind of work-life balance or you're going to drive yourself nuts, especially in residency. I had to learn that really early because there is a lot of work to do, but you have to make the most out of your days when you're at school. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I did not get a single call today, but I still appreciate y'all watching and enjoying this day in the life, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
I got baguettes in the back of my ring, and I went trying to hit me. I told her she gotta run to the team before she can talk to the lit. Before she can talk to the jet. Lamb chop, I just pulled up in some food.